party is honestly pretty poorly, pretty badly injured. A few of them are going to need some sort of healing. The caravan is still stuck. They don't know how the rest of the members of the expedition are doing. They heard some cries for help. And where we come back into it, you can hear Ulf crying out for Ulf. Ulf, Ulf, are you okay, Ulf? A few wagons down. You seem to have driven off the wolves after killing the large alpha of the pack, but you don't know if more are coming or what it's going to take to unstick that wagon as of right now. The party did level at the end of the last session. However, you're still going to be low health from the last fight. So either Gish is going to have to heal you, or you're going to have to ask around for somebody to help heal you. That's up to you guys.
Shit. I'm just going to use my sword as kind of a cane and then walk over and lean up against a wagon, because I am fucked up.
Quick question on that. Jay, you were the one that I accidentally shot. Mm-hmm. You got winged by my ricochet, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna say that Delicia just feels gosh dang terrible. She comes over and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? Dr. Gish, can you get over here and help this guy out real quick?"
I'll walk over, but I'll say, Delilah, was it? Can I ask you a quick survey question? After you took the elixir of life, on a scale of 1 to 7, how would you rate your experience? 1 being the worst and 7 being the best.
I mean, the whole experience with the wolves and everything, I'd have to knock that down quite a bit. I'm not saying that your potion your elixir winds up being the cause of that, but it definitely colors the experience of how I enjoyed the potion. I'd say I'd give it a solid 5.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 out of 7.
I wrote that down in my notebook.
I'm gonna be honest. That is so far out of left field for a goblin alchemist that I don't know how to react. I think that's brilliant.
Monor collapses to the ground and is now just pushed up against the wagon, legs sticking out, just back pushed up against it.
I can do treat wounds on him. I have healer's tools, but I don't know too much about what happens with it. So I guess I roll.
So here's the stuff for treat wounds. If you want to just straight up do treat wounds, it takes 10 minutes. You can't use it again for an hour, or you can't use it again on the same person for an hour. And it will be if you're trained, well, it doesn't matter what you are. You're only allowed to do it if you're trained.
Yeah.
If you're trained, it's 2d8 healing as long as you can beat the DC, which starts at 15, and then depending on circumstance, may be higher or lower. In this case, it would be 15. If you beat DC 15 for your medicine check, they get 2d8 health back. If you beat DC 15 by 10 or more, then it doubles that amount of healing because it's a critical success. You can, when you become expert, master, or legendary with medicine, you get additional options. You can say, I'll take a DC 20 check instead. And that adds a flat plus 10 to the amount that it's healed. Master is a flat plus 30, and legendary is a flat plus 50. But the DC goes from 20 to 30 to 40. Gets harder and harder to beat. But still, you're doubling it when you critically succeed. So
looks like there's bad news if I critically fail as well.
Yeah, critical failure.
Critical failure. The target takes 1d8 damage.
Yes. Did
yes,
you critically fail?
Kill me, please.
No, I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, thank God.
Please, let's beat this how I die.
I would like to note 2 more things. One, critical failure means that you miss the DC by 10 or greater. So that's not a nat 1.
It's a
In
5
this
or
case,
less.
That's a 5 or less.
I did get a 16.
Yeah, okay, good.
So luckily, no damage.
So that's 2d8. The other thing to keep in mind is there's a whole caravan of stuff, and the head of the caravan apparently has been on a lot of adventures. He may have supplies that could be useful. But you rolled a 16, so that is 2d8. Who rolls it? The target rolls it. So 2d8 Mornar.
Too good.
8 altogether. Do I get
Not
8
terrible.
health points? Is that how that works? Do I
Yep.
get it immediately or is it over time?
Yes, you get it immediately. The medicine check took 10 minutes. So you guys can all be standing there for 10 minutes if you'd like.
I am going to be probably not very I'm not trained in medicine, and so, but I'm going to try to be helping Gish without, I'm mostly going to be standing by, doing the best bedside manner that I can, while also apologizing profusely.
I'll just tell you to
Mornar.
hold various things. Hold this gauze.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll go check on Ulf.
Ulf, okay. So while they're fussing over Mordar's near-death experience, you go to check on Ulf. You find Ulf on his knees, screaming, head back, arms behind him, just like, why? And Ulf also on his knees, arms back, screaming, why? And one is saying Ulf, and the other one is saying Ulf. They're both just distraught.
Do they look hurt?
One of them has a thin scratch on his face.
I'm gonna check on everyone else.
As you make your way around the caravan, you see most everybody else looks okay. They were regular wolves, and they were outnumbered everywhere else that they attacked. You guys got the biggest, baddest wolves. Specifically, you know that who is it? You know that Tamley, the half-orc chief, who is sort of the muscle behind Bort, managed to kill one of them. She has it pinned to the side of a wagon with a spear. And she seems to be cleaning out a wound on her arm where it bit her. She's got some sort of strong alcohol that she's got gritting her teeth as she pours it onto the wound. But it doesn't look serious. It just looks more like she's trying to make sure it doesn't get infected or anything. Bort, for his part, is checking out all of the supplies and stuff, and he's also asking if anyone is hurt. Is anyone injured from the fights? I have various healing implements or supplies for those who need them most. And Ulf and Ulf are both clamoring for healing. He seems to be less than inclined to give them anything, though.
Yeah, they're fine.
Anything else you were looking for?
No, if everyone else is fine, then I'll come and just watch what's his name get healed.
As you're walking away, you hear Bort call out like, Ulf, we need to get that wagon unstuck. Now, I know that you're hurt, but do you think that you can maybe lift that rut out? And they're both just distraught, like, no, we may die here. Oh.
I'm gonna toss a rock at him.
Roll me a dexterity plus proficiency.
Okay. It's a 13.
13. Yeah, you bean one of them with a rock. And he turns around and goes, "That's not very nice. We're hurt."
Get to work.
They both stand up and sort of walk back towards the wagon. And you can hear them straining, but it doesn't look like they're moving it much. At around that point, the medicine check is done. You've regained your health, Mornar. Delicia, Mornar looks like he's gonna be okay.
I'm
Doesn't
still
look
so
great.
sorry about that, Mr. Swashbuckler, sir.
It is okay. You cannot kill the son of death.
You're the son of you're okay. Interesting.
Bernard sits down and starts reading a book.
Mordor, what was it? How would you rate your healing on a scale of 1 to 4? How would you rate the service that you have received and the healing abilities of Dr. Gish? Dr. Gish, I don't know if we've spoken too much on the journey so far.
Mornar pauses, looks up, thinks about it. I will give you a 3 today.
That's pretty good. It's better than Belinda over here. Okay, Kevin, go help, go push the cart. And I tell my corgi to go try to help get the cart unstuck.
Okay, the corgi heads back to help. Is anybody else going back to help Ulf and Ulf?
I am. Delicia is also going to go back and help.
Okay. So, Kevin can roll a D4 for athletics to help,
I'm sure it'll be very helpful.
and Delicia D20 athletics.
Kevin got a 4.
Oh, Jesus.
Delicia total has a 24. Delicia is very like I said, upsettingly tall, and you can't really tell how built she may or may not be under that coat.
Well, Ulf and Ulf combined matched fucking Kevin. So Kevin, Ulf, and Ulf are straining together. They have 8 of the required 15 needed to lift this out. And Delicia comes back and just sort of like immediately just pops it right out and shoves it back onto the trail. And Ulf and Ulf begin patting each other on the biceps. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, nothing like a bit of a fight to get us worked up and ready. Oh." And they look at Delicia and they're sort of flexing for her. And they're like, "You like? Yeah?"
I mean, you guys are a little young for me and everything, but great job on getting that wagon out the hole there.
"Yeah, you and Dog come along just in time to see." And they take full credit and head to the rest of the caravan to let everyone know.
Delicia's gonna let them have this.
Okay. With that, Bort calls out. He says, "Well, it's time we get back on the road. We do need to get to Etran's Folly eventually, and I'd like to sleep in a bed rather than a wagon." Is everybody loading up?
Yep.
Already loaded up.
You load up. Are you guys all in the same wagon, or are you split again across the wagons to with others?
I would go to the wagon that Delicia is in.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick a wagon. The wagons aren't moving like super fast, right?
No, you could probably fast walk to keep up with them. You wouldn't need to jog, but a normal walking pace wouldn't quite be fast enough.
Okay. I am going to be actually walking alongside one of the wagons with my musket at the ready, on like head on a swivel, still looking around to see if there's any other wolves or anything coming about. So yeah, just I'm still on yellow alert, I guess.
Okay. How about Mornar and Jean?
I'll probably stay at the front
Okay.
Just looking around.
I'm in whatever wagon that I was leaned up against. Initially, I just got in that one and sat down.
Okay.
I'm reading a book and then also writing notes in a different book.
Where Jean is, which is only a wagon up from where Mornar is, and a wagon prior to where Gish and Delicia are. Gish, I'm assuming you're in the wagon that
Yeah.
Delicia is walking next to.
Gish is very tired from all of his adventure.
Yeah. So in the wagon with Jean is Ulf, and Cookie. Cookie is making a little bit of food for Ulf and Ulf, who are saying that after all of the effort they put in, they clearly deserve an additional meal. Saving the wagon, taking battle wounds and everything.
I'll take some too.
They begrudgingly allow you to join them in their victory supper. They're sort of like, oh, well, you would think, being a god, that, the Teamsters wouldn't be doing all of the guarding, but that's fine. Maybe you'll just need some protein to get up to our strength. They're clearly mostly joking, but also they're trying to act like they're not joking to Cookie. Cookie, for his part, is much more somber than he was the last time you talked to him. The wolves attacking and the stories that he's hearing seems to have shaken him a bit, and he turns and he goes, we'd best be careful. They don't call this town. And he pauses, goes, Plague Stone for nothing. And Ulf are like, no, it's called Etran's Folly, Cookie. Plaguestone's just nickname from war. Nobody calls it that now. Cookie just shakes his head and he goes, some diseases don't just die out on their own.
I'm gonna lift my hand to my ear and be like, what?
And he says, you'd best listen. You'd best listen.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's just, I went through there when the plague was still strong. And sure, some of us were immune or lucky. But that town was nearly wiped off the face of this continent. Everyone there was sick. Everyone there was dying. And the healer on abouts, she didn't help him any. They call it Plague Stone. Because what else do you call a town of death? And he turns back and continues to cook his stew. He doesn't seem to want to talk. He seems, again, a little shaken. Otherwise, everything else seems fine. Wagons are going. You get your food. It is pretty good. It's pretty good. He made you some hash brown sort of things with slices of bacon and some chives in there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty.
Bacon.
For Ulf and Ulf, he straight up just gave them stew.
I want to shout, hey, Steve, I think that healer sounds like they weren't very good. It's a good thing y'all have me now. Shouldn't be any problems with plagues. And that's to you, Risky.
Cookie looks back. He can't tell if you were saying something to him or not. He couldn't hear it very clearly, it looks like. And he yells back and he goes, just be wary. You're not the only alchemist in that town. And that's all he says on it. The night goes on. You don't hear any more howling or anything, but soon you do see a few torches and such. You have finally arrived at Plaguestone.
Nice.
Does it look
Um,
plagued?
As you're coming in, it says it's Etrin's Folly. It says, "Welcome to Etrin's Folly." Let's see here. Bort, looking around at everyone, says, "Well, that was quite a night, everyone, and I know that's not why we're merchants. We're not looking for action, and even our guards aren't looking for that kind of danger. And I do appreciate all the work. Now we should get some sleep, but in the morning, I'll buy everyone some breakfast. So when you wake up, feel free, late morning, join us in the tavern, and I'll get everyone a good hearty meal. We can resupply and be on our way." So as you're sort of getting into town, you see Bort is directing the wagons for Feed Mill. It's the inn/tavern here. Everything is pretty shitty-ish. There's a lot of abandoned houses that just are rotting away. Their thatch roofs collapsed in and stuff. Most houses look all the same. It doesn't look good. It looks like a town that was much bigger and bustling at one point and is now sort of being kept alive by a small segment of the population. Maybe thousands lived here prior to something. You would guess potentially the plague that Cookie was talking about. The Teamsters are securing the caravan for the night, and Bort begins to run around town, meeting with crafters and families. Y'all are free to explore the town, meet members of the community, or you can sleep first if you'd prefer.
I want to explore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a beer.
Okay. What are the groupings here?
I would join.
I'll go
Mornar
for
would
a-
join Gene.
Yeah, I'll go for a beer.
Okay. Delicia?
Delicia looks down at her probably still bleeding arm. She's not as bad off as Mornar was, or the brothers Ulf and Ulf. So she's gonna go get some rest and heads to the inn.
Okay. So as you guys are headed into the inn, you're watching as the stable hand is getting the horses set, sort of tying them off and everything from the caravan. And you see a goblin sort of peeking around a corner, looking at everybody, scurries off into the background. When you enter the tap room, you find it empty of customers, other than a huge, brutish human male. The goblin from before is serving him food and a drink, but this guy is screaming at the goblin and just sort of rude and clearly a little tipsy. He says, "You little green shit! I said bring me 2 pints of ale. You brought me 1 pint, and I finished it, and then you brought me another pint. I want 2 at the same time." And the goblin's just sort of squeaking like, I'm sorry, I try, and goes running off. Hollid is sort of monopolizing the bar at the moment, yelling for food and yelling for drink. You notice he's not tipping at all. But you guys are in there now.
What kind of creature is he?
Is he? He's just a human. He's like 6'5". He's a big dude. He's probably sort of the town tough, is what you would guess. It's not a big town, but he's a big guy.
Too bad Delicia didn't come with us.
At least you did.
Oh,
I did.
You were just
The
going to go
inn
to
is
bed?
also the bar.
Oh, I see. Delicia, I think you should go have a word with this guy. He's causing a ruckus in here. I would do it, but I'm a little small.
Canonically, Delicia is about 6'4", so this guy's just a little bit taller than her. I'm gonna go up to the bar. Is the goblin there?
First, answer me a question. How, let's say, fantasy chic is Delicia's outfit? Are you wearing heeled boots?
Maybe like 1-inch heels, if
Okay.
that. Maybe like 3/4
So you're
inch.
probably about the same height as far as he could tell, just due to the fact that you're wearing the boots. The goblin is not in here at the moment. He scurried off to go grab apparently some biscuits, is what Halad was yelling at him about last.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I am going to sit down, not directly next to him, but maybe a seat away, and try to keep an eye on him and wait for the goblin to return. I'm not like mean mugging him though or anything, so I'm just kind of trying to keep tabs on him at the moment and be ready to act.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit on the other side of him, just right next to him.
Of course you are. You sit there next to him. The goblin comes back out, and he's a little short. He's having trouble getting the tray up on the bar. And as he's pushing it up there, one of the biscuits rolls off the tray and hits him in the head and falls onto the ground. And he gets the rest of the tray up. There's 2 biscuits, and there's 2 pints of ale on there, of which the guy grabs the biscuit and immediately starts chomping on it. And as he's eating it, it's just sort of spilling down his face. He's just got it. And he says, "Now go get me some mutton. I want some mutton." Finnick is like, "You haven't actually paid your tab yet, sir." And sort of quietly, and he throws his mug just past Finnick's head. Doesn't hit him, and it shatters on the wall behind him. And he says, "Go get me some mutton, or I'll find my own."
Delicia is going to interject at that moment. For starts, with Gene on the other side, I'm trying to like give him a high sign to like be ready. Not that we've worked out anything. I'm trying to like just kind of make eye contact with him and just like nod towards the large gentleman between us. And I'm going to say in Goblin to the bartender, "Do you need any help?" I mean, obviously, but you know,
you speak Goblin.
I do speak Goblin.
The goblin looks up at you and sort of narrows its eyes. It's like,
All the air comes out of the goblin.
Yeah, it doesn't know what to do. This giant woman is talking to her in her. Let me see here. Is talking to. I gotta find her. I think it's a her. No, it's a him. It's talking to him in his native language, and he is he's pretty on edge. He's like just shakes his head no and is like, "I'll be right back," and bolts. Just fucking bolts. If anything, it's he seems more scared now.
Did I say
than
where
he did a minute.
he went?
He went into the back kitchen area.
Does it seem like there's anyone around that would stop me from just following him and trying to calm him down?
There doesn't seem to be anybody else there. Are you headed that way?
Yeah.
As you turn to go that way, you hear a yell directly at the back of your head, and it says, "Hey, I said, bring me some mutton."
I'm gonna give a quick action sign to Gene on the other side and try to be like, effectively grab him by the head and slam it into the bar, or like hold him down. Effectively, is more or less what I'm trying to say.
I'll slam his head down.
Do it.
Yeah. Roll me a athletics, I guess, with advantage. We'll say.
Ooh.
He doesn't know you're about to do this. He's also a little drunk.
Because I'm
That
probably
would
standing there too.
Reading
I
a book.
presume you're behind him.
26.
So when I see that, I think Mornar is gonna take out one of his little knives and just try to put his knife right through the guy's hand into the table.
Jesus.
Here's the good news.
Mm-hmm.
He's out cold from slamming his head into.
Okay, then I wouldn't do anything.
I was gonna try to intimidate him after that.
he just sort of slumps into a pile on the ground. Like I said, he's pretty drunk. He doesn't know you're there. His guard wasn't up at all. He was just going, old man yells at clouds on these goblins.
I was trying to say hold him down. I was going to try to get him to pay his tab and then head home. I didn't mean for you to just like completely bust him up like that.
I don't know your sign language. You just said go, so I went.
I just want to add that Mornar is awkwardly standing there with a knife in his hand and slowly just putting it back.
I'm gonna grab one of the beers and start drinking it.
Dr. Gish, you get into the kitchen and you see that there is both the goblin that you were talking to a second ago, and there's a woman in there who is sort of singing while she makes biscuits and stuff. She's the cook, it sounds like. And the goblin is sort of talking to her, just like, well, he wants mutton really bad. And she's like, I don't know that we have any mutton. We can probably just serve him some pork that we chop up weird. He's not very bright. He'll eat it and think it's mutton. And he's like, yeah, that'd probably work. I just and looks back and sees you and lets out a and then just fucking bolts. And she's like, oh, a goblin. Well, your kind's pretty rare around here. Other than Finnick, we don't have much of you. Can you speak? Do you need a bowl? Or maybe do you friend? Just come here, little guy. She holds out a piece of meat that she grabbed off the ground for you.
I was gonna try to make an impression with diplomacy, but I don't care about this lady. But maybe I can find out what she knows about Finnick. Why does he keep running like that? I'll just say in common to her.
And she's like, oh, good, you speak. You speak so good too. Wow. Mash, I can't even believe it. You sound like a native speaker. That's just crazy. You want to know about the other goblin? Is that it?
Yeah, yes, please.
Casual fantasy racism.
She's just like, okay, well, he's green, just like you. You guys have very similar greens. I don't, is that a good thing? Is that attractive to you? Do you like other greenies?
Do you know where he lives? Where did he go?
Where he lives? Oh, I presume under a shed or something somewhere. I've never asked. I would hate to go there. We humans don't like dank, dirty places. We like clean places. He's very nice, though. He's a very good soul, and he's one of the good ones. Let me tell you. You seem like a good one too. You seem very educated for a goblin.
I just walk away from her while she's talking. She's not going to be helpful.
So you get out of the kitchen and that whole environment, and it seems like you scared Finnick, as she called him, scared him just right off. He is real panicky every time you've seen him so far. But with Finnick gone, pretty shortly after you leave the kitchen, the lights turn off back there, and a little sign is hanging on the door saying "Kitchen closed for the night."
Do I just look around? I see what they've done. I don't really care about that. Are there any signs that say no outside food or beverage?
Let's find out. Roll me a D100. A 100 it's pretty much, there's nothing. It actually says welcome. And a 1 is it clearly identifies that you can't.
73.
73. There's no sign saying that you can't. And in fact, there are spare plates and stuff on the side of the room that look like they would be for if you brought your own food in and you wanted to eat it there. There is, however, a sign that says no outside drinks.
But there's no one in here that would be able to enforce that.
Yeah, there's nobody that'd be able to enforce it. And that sign is the exception that proves the rule. If it says no outside drinks, but not no outside food, then you can pretty well infer that you can have outside food in here.
I'm just going to try to find the nearest mug or glass, and I have alcohol in my pack, so I'm just going to pour some alcohol in it and say, does anybody else need a drink?
I got one, thanks.
Not this guy.
I'm going to pretend like I'm checking on the dude we just knocked out, but really I'm just going to run his pockets.
Ah, okay. Run his pockets indeed. Well, let's find out here. Roll me D20.
Thievery?
Nope.
Nope.
We'll say investigation or perception, one of those.
Okay. Ooh, not bad. Let me see what I got for those. Perception, you said?
Yeah.
That is a 16. 16.
You find like 25 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got more than you would expect him to have, actually. Additionally, there's some crumpled up labels that you would normally find on like nice alchemy bottles if you were to buy from a good vendor or supplier.
Okay. I'm just gonna chuck them on the table.
Okay.
They don't mean anything to me.
Say
No. They're
on...
like all crumpled into little balls, and it's just like a list of ingredients and stuff. It's normal things.
I'm gonna tell him to put some money on the bar for the dumbasses drinks and stuff.
Yeah. How much are the drinks here, so I kind of get a gauge of how much I should leave?
No idea.
Oh, I'm just gonna leave like 10 gold or something, 10 of it.
Okay.
I'll chuck 10 gold on the table.
Some expensive drinks.
Is it?
Seems like
let me
in this plague stone area.
It's not my fucking money. Fuck it. 10 gold on the table. I don't give a fuck.
Let's find a cost here.
He's probably caused that much damage.
Yep. Yeah. A keg is 2 silver. A bottle of fine wine is 1 gold. So You put 10 gold down.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's just funny. That'll be very helpful for them.
At least it means we get as many drinks as we want.
I'm going to say that probably the best time for him to check that, the pockets, Delicia was going to move him away from the bar. And so I imagine that Mornar and Delicia probably have him in a carry. And we're just, I guess, trying to get him over to the a chair somewhere. That might be a good time to check his pockets as you're helping to carry him. But it's up to you on when that goes down. Delicia don't care though. Don't care none.
Stuff him in a chair, make him look like he just passed out there.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan a little bit.
Leave a half.
It doesn't look
drink
like
for you
he's like hurt, right?
No, he's just out.
Okay.
So you guys finish your drinks. Did you want to go wander around town, find anybody else?
there.
If the kitchen is closed, is it getting late?
Yeah, it's like 1 a.m.
Oh yeah, I'm good
I'm
with
beat
that.
up pretty bad. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna go to a room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys rest for the night. We'll say Bort purchased everybody rooms, and you find when you're sort of looking for the front staff, there are keys with your names on them. You each have your own room. Bort bought separate rooms for every member of the caravan. There are plenty of rooms available here. And you have a very smooth night. Nothing wild happens. You wake up to the sound of sort of hustling and bustling around the inn. People are loading wagons. People are unloading wagons. You can hear Ulf and Ulf arguing with some lady and all that. But it's pretty early, and it sounds like it's early. It's like 7 a.m., but everybody's up and doing stuff. So I presume you guys are getting up around then as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Quick question on a night's sleep. Do we heal from that?
Yeah, we'll see
How
you're all
much?
back at full health at this
Cool.
point.
Okay.
So right now, you guys are free to explore the town. You got like 2 hours before the big breakfast that Bort has set up. He's asked that everybody come. He'd like to toast you for helping save the caravan from the wolves. And he's excited for the meal. You have a few hours to explore, maybe buy stuff in town, talk to townspeople and all that, or you can literally just hang out and wait until the meal if you'd like.
Does this town seem like it would? Is it big enough that it seems like it would have any sort of armory specialists of any sort?
Let me look. No.
No. Okay. And not even like for specifically swords or anything.
No, they have some crafters, but nobody who's a particularly talented smith. The smiths here mostly make like farming implements.
Okay, Mornar wouldn't waste his time then.
Okay.
In coming down to the bar area, I'm trying to keep an eye out for our passed out quote unquote friend. Is he still there?
He isn't, but you do hear people talking about finding him early this morning. Apparently his name is Halod, and he's sort of the town bully. He was kicked out of the military and came back to town thinking he was hot shit, and basically has just been going around and causing problems for people, not necessarily doing anything super illegal, but just intimidating people, being a shitheel, being very rude, and in general makes life difficult for everyone there. They don't like him much.
Is there an alchemist shop that I could buy stuff from? I can't make everything, but
Do you ask about an alchemist shop?
yeah, I guess I would have to. I don't know if Bort or anyone knows. I don't necessarily want to ask a stranger, but I can. if no one in our caravan knows.
Okay. So nobody in the caravan necessarily knows of an alchemist shop, but when you bring it up, I guess who are you asking? You asking Tamley, Ulf, Glunda, Cookie?
Tamley makes sense. If she's the boss of she's the muscle.
Yeah. Tamley sort of grimaces when you ask about an alchemist shop, and she says, I wouldn't be, I would really not ask around about alchemy too much here. They don't have any love for it. You might have heard the town referred to as Plague Stone. That comes from that plague that came through here and wiped out about 80% of the population 20 years back. There was an alchemist in town who was trying to cure people. But a lot of people think she may have been somehow at fault for the plague. Many of those that she treated died shortly after. Now, the logical amongst the town recognized that she was treating those who were closest to death first. Thus, they died. But others are looking for someone to blame, and they blamed her, drove her from town. I think they may even have killed her. But I don't know that for sure. In the center of town is the plague stone itself. And she gestures out, and you can see sort of a monolithic piece of stone. Apparently, that is where the alchemist would set concoctions and things for people to try and heal so that they weren't coming into close contact with one another during the plague. They were using it so that they were essentially social distancing. Nobody would be there at the same time as anybody else. She would place the stuff, she would back away, they would go to it. They would leave food there, they would leave drinks there, they would leave medicine there. But it was just one singular place for people to safely go where other people wouldn't at the same time. It didn't work. A lot of people died. And Tamley makes it clear that the people around here don't look too kindly on alchemy.
Good to know.
Ominous.
Do you does anyone do you know Tamley where she the alchemist lived by chance, just so we know where to stay away from?
Tamley's like, no idea, but I can tell you she's well outside town at this point, or they'd have killed her probably.
Good to know.
Delicia is going to try to see, is there like a bounty board perhaps, or any way that I would know with my lore of law, my law lore, to be able to make some easy money and or also help out somehow outside of helping the caravan? Because I mean, if you're already passing through a place, it's always nice to maximize the reason why you're there.
There is a request board. It's mostly empty. There's only one actual request there, and it was from somebody who was looking for somebody to help them just sort of, I guess, get acquainted with the town. Somebody new who just moved there, and they're looking for just a friend, basically. They're just saying like, hey, can somebody help me make some friends? It's a desperate attempt from somebody who's socially awkward to make connections.
Is there a name on the request?
The name on the request is Luke Skywalker. Yeah. Luke Jankerts.
It's not necessarily my line of work. I mean, Mr. Jankers needed something brought back from somebody he lent it to, or perhaps maybe a person who skipped on their bail bond, I could probably help him out there. But I mean, I don't know much about the town myself. Just saying this like to herself while she's looking at it.
Yeah. Which makes perfect sense. So there's not a lot of options for purchasing stuff here. Bort seems to be making a good deal of money off of all of his goods because of that. He's selling stuff to people that they really rely on these trade caravans to come through. But there's not a lot here for you guys, it doesn't seem. You can explore the town if you're interested. You can go looking for more information about people or things, or again, you can just go to breakfast.
I was gonna look to see if I can find a big bag of salt.
Big bag of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can find a big bag of salt. I presume the kitchen is one of the first places that you would look.
Yep.
And you find that nice woman that Gish met the night before in the kitchen, singing a song, just going like, and we found 6 goblins and we stopped 6 goblins and we threw them in a cage and we drowned them in the river. 6 goblins and we killed 6 goblins and we threw them in a cage and they all drowned. And she's cooking while she sings her pleasant tune.
There's a point at which the microaggressions just become micro declarations of war, I guess.
It's as far as if you were to ask her, she would say it's just us. It's been in her, family for generations. They've always sang that.
Part
It's
of
their
her
culture.
heritage.
Yeah, it's a heritage thing. Yeah. She gives you salt. She doesn't even charge you for it. She says,
All right.
we put this on the tables and stuff all the time. People take it. Just a little bit of entrance folly hospitality. That's what it's like here. And she's making sure that you recognize how superior her culture is.
As long as you're not a goblin.
Yeah. She goes, no, don't say that. That's mean. And then she goes back to singing her song.
This is getting a little too real.
But she gives you the salt, and you've got a big old bag of salt.
Nice.
That's going to count as 2 bulk, is what that is. So are you guys familiar with bulk?
Kind of.
No.
So bulk is basically the maximum amount of weight that a character can carry. People can carry an amount of bulk that equals 5 plus your strength modifier. So I don't know what your strength modifiers are, but generally you're going to be able to carry 5 bulk plus that. There are various feats that can grant you more. I don't necessarily think that you'll need them in this, but many things are 1 bulk to 2 bulk. Light items, it takes 10 light items to make 1 bulk. So if you carry more than 5 plus your strength modifier, it slows you down actively and starts having a negative effect on your AC and your movement speed and stuff like that. If you get all the way up to 10 plus your strength modifier, then you can't move at all. You're just frozen in place.
I actually took the Hefty Hauler skill feat with my last level up so that I can carry like an extra 2 plus my strength modifier plus 5. So
Okay.
total of 9 bulk.
That's good. You're the one who's going to be carrying, I think, the most equipment between the guns and everything else.
I'm just a little pack mule.
But yeah, so 2 bulk for the bag of salt. Because it's a big old bag. We're talking like a 50-pound bag of salt that she gave you.
I wanted to go looking for Finnick, but I guess if I see Gene with a giant bag of salt, I would ask Gene, why do you have that? What are you doing with all that salt?
Don't worry about it.
No, that's not a very good response. That's not a helpful response.
It's for protection.
Protection against what exactly?
Ghosts and ghouls.
Have you encountered a lot of ghosts and ghouls?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Can't argue with that.
good to know.
Okay. Any other things before you guys start breakfast?
Are you gonna do anything, Mornar?
I'm just Mornar's just sitting at a table still with the same book he had before, and clearly he's trying to work something out, but he can't quite figure it out. And he's just been staring at it and writing notes and not being able to figure it out. And you can tell he's frustrated. But that's all he's doing.
Okay. So Ulf and Ulf come and find you guys, and they're like, so we know breakfast is soon, and Ulf is like, yes, very soon. But we were hoping to get some, morning mimosas beforehand. Would anyone like to join us for drinks?
I'm down.
I would die for a mimosa right now.
Yeah, well, fuck it.
Oh, weird. That's pretty weird, Alicia. You didn't want to drink with us last night. Anyway, now that we have a giant bag of salt, it sounds like we're going to have some mimosas. That's more like a margarita thing, I think. You'd put the
I'm
salt
a morning drinker. I was bushed last night.
So you guys head into the feed mill, and it's a little more busy in the morning than it was late at night. There is the town bard, Flonk, as he's introduced himself, who is tuning his instrument, just sort of like ding 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 ding. His lute is clearly missing 2 strings, and he's singing the same song that you heard Amora singing in the kitchen. But he's sort of like staring at Gish the whole time, and you can see he's trying to puzzle out if he should sing it or not. Yeah. He says, like, I'm unfamiliar with that song. Sorry about that, folks. I do have a number of greatest hits. Etrin's Folly's greatest hits. And he begins to sing some of his homemade music. And that is a solid 7, so it's not great. he's not a particularly talented bard. Otherwise, the actual place is full of farmers. There are 2 other people serving guests tonight, and there's a bartender. You can still see Amora in the kitchen singing, and Finnick the goblin is all over the place. He's running around grabbing stuff for people, and it's just sort of, it's getting crazy. Did you guys order drinks?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
If
you order
mimosas.
drinks, and as you order your drinks, Bort comes in, and he says, "Oh, it's nice to have you all here. Drinks are on me. Whatever they ordered, I'll pay. I'll pay. That's on me." And he says, "I want to thank you for protecting my caravan. It's important to me that I see the work you put in. Ulf and Ulf talk a big game, but I've seen them try and move a wagon before, so I know somebody helped them. I don't know who. I wasn't there, but I'm sure it was one of you. Not to mention the wolves. Those were not natural wolves. They would not have been frightened off so easily by Teamsters. I do appreciate it." He's He seems to be really, really trying to get across how much he appreciates. And he opens his jacket, pulls out a pair of potions. One is red with silver sparkles, and the other one is silver with red sparkles. And as he shakes them, they shift from one to the other, and shakes them again. They shift back. And he says, "These will not heal on their own, but they prime the body for healing. Make it easier to provide aid. I'm sorry, I did not know that any of you were hurt. I heard that one of you was very badly injured. I'm." And he sets the bottles on the table and he goes, "Please, take these and use them." Who's grabbing one?
How many were there?
There are two.
Like
And
a healer.
They apparently prime the body to be healed, but they do not heal on their own.
Delicia is frozen with embarrassment over the fact when he says that somebody got hurt really bad, as she flashes back to the moment that the misfire happened. I'm just blushing up a storm over here.
Catches my attention. I grab one of the bottles.
Okay. You grab one.
The PTSD of the moment made me. Maybe I do need one of those.
Gish, you grabbing the other one, or Gene?
I'm not grabbing
push it over to him.
I'm not taking it. I'm trying to go find a way to approach Finnick without him screaming and running away.
Well, then I guess I'll take it.
Okay, Gene grabs it. Gish, you hop off to go try and find Finnick as he's scrambling around. The rest of you, Bort is he's just thanking profusely. And he's telling you, like, those potions could save your life. They're very rare.
What potion is it?
And he says, I don't rightly know the name, but I was given them by the goddess of death herself.
That sounds healthy.
Mornar kind of stumbles over his words for a second, and he stops. He thinks, and where did you run into this person?
He says, oh, it's a long story, and it's so involved. I'm not sure you want to hear it. It paints me in a light I don't like to be so shown, and I don't like to toot my own horn, but I guess if you insist, I'll tell you. He tells the story. One day when he was crossing the waters of Lake Encarthen, his boat was set upon by a mighty storm. As the crew cautioned him to turn back, he let them know that only those with valor could earn the rewards that merchants deserved. Basically, his whole thing was, if they took the bigger challenges, then they would get more money. And he continued to drive him into it, the waves getting ever larger. He was steering the boat and keeping it aloft, but at one point, his crew had lost control of one of the sails. Leaving the helm to his first mate, he ran down to help with the sails, but the first mate just didn't have his skill with the helm, and the boat capsized. On the way down, as the boat was capsizing, Bort was clever enough to dive onto one of their boxes of merchant treasures and grab it and stuff it into his coat, even though it weighed him down into the ocean. He awoke in front of the goddess Pharasma, the judge of death. As she was about to judge him, he couldn't hear her, he pretended, due to the storm and the water and the thunder. Repeatedly, her hair was being tousled and thrown around, and he was like, I can't, what are you saying? And her hair getting wrapped around her face from the storm, he pulls the treasure box out and brings out a comb of silver and platinum that can fit into her hair to pin her hair back. She was so thankful for the gift that she returned him to shore with a bandolier of potions to help heal his crew. 2 of those potions he didn't need to use because the crew had already died by the time he made it to shore. Those are the 2 he gave you. Is his story.
Delisi is going to interject at the end of it, looking at Mornar and be like, "Isn't this a small world? He knows your mom."
Mornar is just like, I do not think that is my mother.
He's like, why would it be your mother?
It wouldn't be.
Are you?
And that's why I am saying that it
And
does
then
not.
he's like, are you my son?
Wait,
I am
so
not.
you did the goddess?
Well,
I am
that's a
fairly
whole
certain.
different story. But,
I am quite older than you.
It's like, okay, well, don't be saying things like that. You'll freak me out.
He is the one who said it, not me.
And he looks at Delicia and he's like, are you my daughter?
No, I'm pretty sure that I'm also older than you by like maybe a century-ish. So,
And he's like, okay, well, the story's about me and how generously I'm giving you these potions from the goddess of death. Anyway.
And what did you say her name was?
Pharasma. You know. Pharasma, the goddess of death.
Does that name sound familiar to me at all?
No, it's unique to this plane. It is just happenstance.
Would I recognize the name?
Yes, you would. It is an actual goddess.
Does that sound like it would fit the lore at all?
Not particularly.
Okay.
It seems like a bit of a stretch of the truth at minimum. Gish,
I kind of pull. Sorry, go ahead.
Gish, you cannot find Finnick anywhere. He is very much hiding at this point. That's the only explanation. Like he must literally be hiding because he's not doing his fucking job. You know that much.
I'm gonna ask around. Has anybody seen someone who looks like me?
And
Someone younger?
multiple are like multiple of them are like, Finnick, your voice has changed so much. What are you doing?
I'm just looking for my brother. I saw another person here that looks like me.
Another person? What are you talking about? You're not a person, Finnick, you silly. Go get me some scones. Is the general vibe. They don't say it quite that way, but it's apparent that they're just like, we don't care what you want, Finnick.
I'll go get some scones.
Okay. You go into the kitchen and Amora just hands you a tray of scones.
Okay. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with them yet.
Everybody's getting pretty tipsy now. Ulf and Ulf are getting drunk. There's some farmers. There's a man in nice armor who seems to be getting pretty drunk as well. Leaned back in his chair, shouting something about the great Holy Crusade and some crazy shit there. You don't know what's going on with him. But as everybody's getting a little boisterous and the bard is singing and it's getting crowded and packed, one of the locals trips and slams into somebody from behind, launching all of their porridge and their drinks into another farmer. Very quickly, that farmer stands up and throws a punch at the person who spilled all over him, which begins to trigger a chain reaction. There's very quickly a brawl across the whole bar. A man gets flung into your table, just a drunken farmer, and is going to deal 4 damage to Mornar as he accidentally kicks Mornar in the face trying to get off the table. And I need you all to roll initiative.
Ooh, a nat 20. I'm ready to fight. Fuck. Where is that?
1.
Oh wait, no, I got 19.
That's more like a risky roll.
Okay, we've got a 20 for Jean, a 19 for Delicia. What else?
We add our perception to our roll, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we do? I got a natural 24.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'll be 26 then.
24. Jesus Christ. You guys, don't do this to me.
I messed up.
Everybody did it wrong. Okay.
I also got 24.
I said I got a nat 20.
Did you? Yeah, you did get a nat 20.
You said I took 4 damage?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Okay. Mornar with a 26, right?
No.
No.
Gene.
No,
Jean with the
24. I got
26.
24. Yep.
Mornar with the 24. Delicia with a 24. And then once you get Gish,
I got a lowly 18.
nearly 18 for Gish. Well, that outclasses all the farmers. It is a brawl, to be clear. No one is killing anyone. They're punching. No one has drawn even a weapon. What are you doing, Gene?
I'm punching.
Punching?
Yep.
Okay. There are basically 6 farmers going.
Nat 20.
Are you doing non-lethal?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
Just a
1d4 plus strength.
Oh, that's good. Plus my strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 8.
8? Holy shit. That's wait, 8 before doubling?
Oh yeah, I maxed. Damn, I rolled a 4.
Ooh, did he just punch a hole through this farmer's face?
Actually, what is the total to hit? Because it was a nat 20, right?
Yes. So unarmed is plus 8.
Okay, yeah, that is more than double the AC. So you are doing 16. Luckily, it's non-lethal. You definitely said it was non-lethal, but you one-shot this guy. Like, you stand up, and the first dude in front of you, who's just like "Hey, mate," and starts coming at you, and you just like, boom, right in the jaw. You hit the button. He goes down. He is out cold. That leaves about 5 more, and you still have 2 actions.
I'm gonna run it and start the next one.
Okay, there's one on the table as well.
Okay. Oh, damn it. I got a 14 plus 8.
14 plus 8 is...
But that was almost 3 20s in a row.
Yeah, that's close. And that would have done stuff. 14 plus 8 is not enough to be a crit. It's only 1 below, though. But you have to remove... It's minus some
yeah.
because it's your second attack. It's still going to hit. It's not enough that you're not going to hit. So we'll just do that.
So it'd be +4.
Yeah, roll damage.
So 18, and then I rolled a 3. So 7.
3 + 4, 7. You brutally punch another farmer. He's not down, but he's not looking good.
And then I'll punch another one.
You're gonna do it again, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that one wasn't very good. That's a 7.
7 plus
Nothing.
not enough. Okay. Yep. You miss. And then it is Mornar's turn.
Is the dude who kicked me still on the table?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Technically, he's prone, so you'll have advantage on attacks against him too.
Oh, he's prone?
He's on his back on the table. That's how he kicked you in the face.
Right. So, I'm just gonna bring my elbow down on him.
Okay. Roll an attack.
And I actually am trained in hand-to-hand combat, so I'll have all of that. That is a fucking just a 20. I'm not even gonna roll again because it's a 26 to hit.
Yep, that's a crit.
And that
Beating up a shit ton of
is
farmers.
6 damage.
6 damage times 2, 12. The one on the table is out. You've knocked him out. You can just shove him onto the ground. The one standing there is the one that got hit with the second hit from Gene.
I'm gonna
Still
do
have
like
2 actions.
a fucking backwards roll out of my chair. Some ridiculous backwards cartwheel thing out of my chair, you know? What do I is it correct? I can't remember what my modifier, my check is.
Performance.
Performance. Right. Ooh, not bad. That is a 16 for performance.
That'll do the trick.
And I'm just gonna do a back as I get up. I'm just do a backwards elbow into that guy's face that Gene just punched.
Okay.
And that is max damage, so 8.
8. And you knock out that one that Gene hit as well. At about this point, you see the man who had been yelling about the crusade in the armor slip out the front door. And specifically because you were looking for him, Gish, you see Finnick bolt out the back through the stable exit, as well as somebody yells that they're getting the sheriff. Bort is trying to get people to calm down. And he's like, now everybody just take a break. I could get everyone a drink. And gets hit with a chair from a guy behind him. And Bort's out cold. Mornar, you still have an action left.
That's 3 for me. I hit a dude.
Oh,
did
you're
my
right.
performance action and then hit a
Thing
dude.
was your performance. Okay. Delicia, your turn.
Delicia is going to set her mimosa down, stand up, and turn. How many farmers do we got in the?
There are 3 left that are fighting. Everybody else is just sort of like defending themselves from these 3.
Delicia says to herself, "Time to de-escalate the situation," and moves towards the closest farmer. And it's flurry of blows time. I think it's flurry of blows time. So first strike on him is not good. 8
Plus.
It's just that is with the pluses. Yeah. No, I rolled a 2 and have a +6.
The hick small town farmer deftly evades the monk-like blow by just being like.
Right. Second strike on the flurry of blows. It's a nat 1. Total of 3. So
He had too many mimosas.
Wow.
apparently.
Yeah. So 3 is 10 below the AC, which means it's a critical fail.
Okay. How does this go down?
With this,
You hit me
we
again.
get to play.
You Conrad.
We get to play. Roll to find out who you hit. So we got
Luckily, I'm in the
1d4.
kitchen.
1 is Delicia, 2 is Mornar, 3 is Gish, and 4 is Jean.
I got a 4.
Okay. So you miss with the first strike, and you go for your flurry of blows, and as you go back and you wrench your elbow back, you just slam it right into Jean's temple. Just bam. And that's why you miss so badly, is you're like, it hits your funny bone. It doesn't feel good.
It does not.
Jean, you're going to take 1d4 plus the dexterity modifier of Delicia. So, Delicia, roll a 1d4.
Can do. Quick question, because I'm not actually attacking him, so I can imagine that I wouldn't put my powerful fist type strike into it. Or do I not have control over that in the situation?
You're just using 1d4.
Just 1d4? Okay.
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
So that's 3 plus 2, total of 5.
5 damage to Jean as you slam an elbow into his temple.
Motherfucker.
Delicia building a reputation.
Delicia is like, oh no, sorry.
At least not against the same person.
Oh,
give it time. Give it time.
You still have a third action, Delicia.
There's still someone you haven't hit yet.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't. I'm gonna go ahead and try to roll to strike another farmer and probably roll really bad. Okay, 16.
16 on the dice?
Yes. Well, no, 16 total. So that was 18 plus my modifier minus the 8.
Minus the 8. Okay.
Yes.
16 is enough to hit, luckily. So you will hit one. The 3 that are left have all been unscathed thus far.
Okay, so first punch doesn't work. Second punch, I back it into Jean's head. Third punch, I'm going to effectively do a spinning back fist on one of the farmers.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and roll that beautiful damage. Total of 7.
7. The farmer that did that earlier, as he's bringing it back and you hit your elbow and then immediately switch into a spinning back fist, you just catch him right across the face. It doesn't knock him out, but he spits out a tooth. Ooh. And he lets out a like a yeehaw, like, woo! That shook him up. Gish, it's your turn.
I throw a smoke bomb. So I can use quick alchemy, so that'll be one action to make the alchemical bomb, and then I can throw it up to 20 feet. So I just want to throw it into the middle of them. It makes a 10-foot radius burst of smoke. And then creatures in it have the concealed condition, and it lasts for a minute. And then my last thing I wanted to do is run after Finnick again.
Smoke bomb.
Okay.
Pocket bomb.
Gish, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
$16.
16. I guess it'd be a reflex save is the correct term.
Yeah, that's the one I did.
And you did it right. You jump out of the way, the door gets kicked open, and it's the sheriff. And he says, "Everybody, shut your traps!" And then he sees the smoke, and everybody in it's just still. All the farmers are, at least. Delicia, Jean, Mornar, are you guys stopping when he yells that out and says, "This is Sheriff Rolf Garley. Everybody, calm the fuck down."
I'm just going to rub my temple.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop fighting. Do I have like an ability to try to like roll over to the other since we're all covered to make it look like I was away from the fight and had nothing to do with it?
Roll me deception or stealth.
Okay. I'll roll first and then I'll scroll down to see what those are. They're probably the same. That would be a 21.
Okay, yeah. If anybody looks at you, they would think that you had just been sort of like off to the side watching.
Yeah,
Neat.
I'm just gonna see if my beer is unspilled, or mimosa. Sorry.
Roll me a d20. Above a 10, it's unspilled.
6.
It's spilled.
Oh man.
Damn it.
The sheriff is rounded up a bunch of the farmers, and they're all pointing at each other. None of them seem too upset with you guys, probably because the ones that you hit the most are knocked out. So the story he's getting is that all the farmers were the problem, not you guys. Other than one guy who is like, that bitch right there, she's hitting everybody around her. I don't know what her problem is. Pointing at Lisa.
Hey now.
And the sheriff is like, okay. It's time to sort this shit out. And at that moment, Bort hops up again. And he says, friends, I meant what I said. Drinks on me. We haven't even had our meal yet. Let's go eat. And the sheriff is like sort of torn when Bort comes over and says something under his breath to him, slips him something. And the sheriff says, okay, fine. Go enjoy your food. Move on. And that is where we will end episode 2 of the Drunken Arcanauts Golarion campaign. The party got in a little bar brawl. Everything's fine. Just getting ready to have a nice dinner. Thank you all for listening. And catch us next time. Bye-bye.